This a couple minutes early, just tell us.
Good evening and welcome once again to Grand Junction Field in Kirsch-Rooney Stadium, Game 3 of the 2016 South Central District Championship, featuring the visiting Delgado Dolphins and the homesteading Maplewood Monarchs. Introducing starting lineups first, visiting Delgado. Leading off in left field, number 1, Robbie Podorski. Batting second,
ready? All right. There we go. From Rank Sherman Field at Kirsch-Rooney Stadium. It's the National Junior College Association South Central District Championship Game 3 as the homestanding Delgado Dolphins take on Maplewoods, Missouri. And a pleasant good evening to you, Ken Trahan along with Lenny Van Gilder. And this is Game 3 and what has essentially become a best of 3 for the championship of the South Central District Championship, because already Eastern Oklahoma State has been eliminated. In Game 1, Maplewoods defeated Eastern Oklahoma State 13-2 in a game shortened to 7 innings by the mercy rule. And then in Game 2, Delgado rallied and defeated Eastern Oklahoma 10-6 to eliminate the Eastern Oklahoma squad. So this will be Game 1, basically, of a best of 3 between Delgado and Maplewoods. Lenny Van Gilder joining me. Lenny, you call the Delgado victory over Eastern Oklahoma, and I know you saw what transpired earlier today. What we've got here is a matchup of 2 teams, one in Delgado that's accustomed to being here and has pretty good pitching, and one in Maplewoods that has superb hitting.
Yeah, Maplewoods can really swing. I mean, they came in with gaudy numbers, 347 on the season going into the first game, and they showed us just how good they can hit in the first game with 20 hits in 7 innings. They can really swing the bats.
Well, they hit 351 as a team. That gives you some perspective what kind of team they are swinging the bats. Conversely, their team earned run average is 7.82, so it's clearly all about hitting for Maplewoods, and the Maplewoods defense will set for you. Rish in left, McMahon center, Curry in right, Simpson third, Baumgartner short, McLaughlin second, and G-Boss at first. Perry catching, and the pitcher is Tyler Funk with a 5-2 mark and a 6.30 earned run average. More on him in a moment. Leading it off for the Dolphins is Robbie Podorski, left fielder. First pitch, and that is down for ball one. We're underway at 6:56, or a few minutes early, if you will. Ball and no strikes to Podorski at .412, no homers, and 19 driven in on the season. And he takes a strike to equal the count at 1-1. We mentioned Tyler Funk, and the 5-2, .630 record occurs in 12 appearances, 10 starts, 74 1/3 innings, 100 hits, 52 earned runs. He's walked 27, fanned 47. Here's a slicer in the right center field. That's going to be caught by the right fielder, Curry, for the out. Ball sliced back toward Curry, and Podorski retired for out number one.
Yeah, it was well hit, but it just, as you said, sliced back towards the right fielder. He was able to run it down. Funk making his first start in 8 days. He pitched last Friday in the driver's seat game of the regional tournament against St. Louis. 6 1/3 innings, 12 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned. He walked 3. He struck out 4. Maplewoods won that game 11-8.
Daniel LaHare fouls it back to the screen. It's 0-1. LaHare has been outstanding all season long at .401, 10 home runs and 45 driven in for the product of Brother Martin High School in New Orleans. Delgado in their white tops, yellow gold sleeves here, white pants. Here's the 0-1. Sitting high and away, so it's even at a ball and a strike. Maplewoods, their dark tops today. Monarchs across the front. The white pants, a simplistic look. And a definitive difference between the two teams. 1-1. And that is a strike over the inside corner at the knees. And the count now to 1-2 strikes. Lights are on to start the ball game here this evening. Nightfall will arrive within the hour. Wind blowing a little bit across toward left field. There's the 1-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Perry, and it's equal at 2-2. Owen McGee on deck for the Dolphins.
LaHare was sensational in the first game against Eastern Oklahoma, Ken. Even his one out was a loud line out. He went 4 for 5 with 2 triples, 2 singles.
Swings and pops it up left side. Long run left fielder toward the line. Rish, foul territory, slides. And he got there and made a sensational play. What an outstanding defensive play by Rish for the second out.
And we take another look, and Rish had a long way to come to get there. Plus, he got a fence to deal with. Makes a sliding grab. Outstanding play for the second out.
Brilliantly done by Rish. And the first two retired by Funk. And here's Owen McGee, the third baseman at .322. 4 home runs, 45 driven in. Took a strike call. With Funk getting ahead of hitters early on. They've got McGee straight up defensively. The ultimate respect for a hitter. Quickly, the 0-1. And a pop foul right side will be out of play. And it is no balls and 2 strikes on McGee. Again, the best of 3 basically, so whoever can win 2 between these two teams will advance to the Junior College World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado. 0-2 pitch. Down and out. 1-2 strikes. Game 2 between these two teams. Set for 3 p.m. Sunday. A third and deciding game if necessary Monday at 1 p.m. In the dirt with a hook. And it's 2-2 strikes to McGee, trying to get him to expand the zone after getting ahead. Good crowd on hand. Was for the last game as well. 2-2 the count. Another on the way. Rolled toward the shortstop. Baumgartner bobbles, can't handle. That'll go as an error on the shortstop, Baumgartner. And a little bit of an in-between hop. He wasn't able to handle it. And Lenny, as we know from doing a lot of games at Kirsch-Rooney Stadium, if the ball gets to the dirt, strange things can happen here.
It can, especially you get to the one thing that really is strange is it's thick grass, and you can hit those edges of the grass, and you can really get some strange hops as well. Saw one of those in the first game.
J.P. LaGreco takes it down and out for a ball. It really is a contrast because the grass is thick enough to slow it down and give you time and give you true hops, but once it gets to the dirt, it's typically very hard here. 1-0 the pitch, and that is down, so it's 2-0 strikes to LaGreco, North Shore High School product, and a .310 swinger, 4 homers and 36 driven in for LaGreco.
big hit, maybe the biggest hit of the last game.
And he drives this one left pretty well. Left fielder back, not going to get there. It's off the wall. Can they score the run? The answer is no. Ball was hit too hard, and the left fielder, Risch, got to it and got it to the cutoff man very quickly. So it's a ringing double for LaGreco, second and third, 2 outs.
LaGreco is now 4 for 5 on the day as our viewers on SportsNola.com get another look. Just a line shot off the Bruno's sign and left. And it was just, like you said, too hard, even in a 2-out situation, to try to score McGee from first base.
Well played by Risch. Give him credit as LaGreco with a ringing double. Second and third for Spencer Miller, the catcher. A 270, a homer, and 32 driven in. And he swings and fouls it back. Good cut at that pitch. 15th double of the year for LaGreco, which now leads the team.
The first game, walk, single and a run scored, another single, struck out looking the only time he's been retired all day, and then the 3-run double with the bases loaded as part of that 5-run 8th inning. Miller had a couple of RBI singles in that first game.
Oh, one is a good breaking ball for a strike called, and Miller finds himself behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Miller played at one of the better high school programs in Louisiana, Jesuit High School. 0-2 the count. And another. Missed the outside edge, 1-2. Catcher Perry setting up off the plate. Customary in that scenario. Electing the pitch from the stretch. Funks 1-2. Down and out. Good breaker blocked by Perry nicely as he shifted the weight. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. A 2-out error, and then a ringing double have given the Dolphins an opportunity here in the top of the first inning. On 2-2 with 2 on, 2 outs. Spencer Miller swings and fouls it, holding at 2-2. Weather conditions, partly cloudy at game time, but really mostly clear. 85 degrees. And the wind, as mentioned, is not much. It's toward left. It's listed only at 2 miles an hour. It looks a little bit more than that, but not much. I'd say about 5, just with the finger test. 2-2 the count, which of course would be deceitful since I'm enclosed as we speak. So therefore, I cannot get a finger outside of the window. I wish I could, but it's not constructed that way. The pitch. Breaking ball beat on the ground over the mound. Chopper, high hop, throw by the second baseman is in time for the out, and the inning is over. Nice pick by the first baseman, G-Boss, to get Maple Woods out of the jam. No runs, a hit, an error, 2 stranded. Bottom of the first coming. Maple Woods to the plate with no score. And you are listening to the National Junior College South Central District Championship and watching as well. Back in a moment. Takes to the field defensively with no score. They will have Podorski in left, LaHare center, Clayton in right, McGee at third, Thompson short, Broussard second, and Weston at first. It's Miller catching. And on the mound for the Dolphins will be the right-hander, Evan Heilman. Lenny, a 5-2 record, a 4.50 run average. Tell us a bit more about Evan Heilman.
Heilman on the year, 54 innings of work, 70 hits allowed, 32 runs, 27 earned. A strike throw, he's walked just 6. He struck out 54 on the season, has allowed just 2 home run balls. Pitched most recently on May 8th at Zephyr Field in the clinching series win against Baton Rouge Community College. 7 innings of work, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. In fact, He was the starting pitcher in 3 of the 4 victories in that 6-game series win over BRCC.
Heilman, former John Curtis Patriot via Nicholls State, and Clayton Risch will lead it off, to be followed by McLaughlin and Simpson here in the bottom of the first inning. Hard hitting Maple Woods. Here's Risch, 404, 8 home runs, 44 driven in. First pitch sails outside. Risch stands upright and really holds that bat low.
Right. 4 hits in the opener, every one of them to left field.
And now ahead in the count is Risch, 2-0.
Scored a couple of runs, drove in a run.
Always interesting to watch the different approaches of hitters, and this is a very quiet approach. He stands straight up and just holds the hands down. You don't see this very often, but no movement at all. And there's a strike called. It's 2-1. And the less movement you have, the more consistent you'll pass the bat through the zone. Some guys are comfortable, though, moving their hands, moving their feet. There's a fly ball foul right side out of play. And the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sun beginning the set, wind not much of a factor. In a ballpark that typically plays pretty large. 2-2 pitch. Fouled behind the plate. Just got a piece to stay alive. Speaking of the ballpark and playing large, it's 325 down the lines, but then it jumps out to 370 to the gaps and 400 to straightaway center. 2-2. Roller toward the mound. Good pitch by Heilman. Will run it over and underhanded to his first baseman Weston for the out. Risch retired. That's an important out to get for Heilman. And now, with 1 out, the batter will be Levi McLaughlin. McLaughlin, the freshman, out of Kansas City, hitting .394, 4 homers, and 66 driven in. The Monarchs are out of Kansas City, Missouri. Enrollment of nearly 19,000. Pitch on the way. Fouled to the screen. It's 0-1.
I'm sure Delgado doesn't face a lot of programs that have a larger enrollment than they do, because obviously this is a program that's got significant enrollment, has seen big jumps ever since Hurricane Katrina.
0-1. Fouled again. So they are aggressive at the plate, which stands to reason considering their gaudy numbers. No balls and 2 strikes. You don't get to those numbers by taking pitches. And they're certainly not taking a whole lot of pitches to start the game. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Missing high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The show-me fastball. Simpson is on deck. We're in the bottom of the first with no score from Kirsch-Rooney Stadium.
Show me. I see what you did there.
1-2. Foul, not a play.
Because, of course, the other team is from Missouri, so I see what you did.
I thought you might like that. As you probably know my affection for a certain team that resides in that state.
Mm-hmm.
Been there, 25, 30 times to see games. Foul back to the screen once more. Pretty interesting battle here as McLaughlin continues to battle.
Where you saw more times than not, probably the most famous alum in the history of the Maple Woods program, and Albert Pujols.
Oh my! Yes, I saw him many times. One I'll tell you about momentarily. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball by Heilman as he gets McLaughlin for out number 2. And now deals with Connor Simpson, the third baseman, at .382 and 7 home runs and 51 driven in. Good pitch, Lenny.
Was a good pitch. Needs to be able to show that curveball there, and that's a really good one. And look, establish yourself here the first time through the lineup against this team.
Connor Simpson takes a good breaking ball strike. Heilman has the breaking ball early on in this game. Good feel for it. And he's a quick worker. For that matter, so is Funk. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Another breaking ball, but he rips this one down and out. Equals the count at 1-1. I saw Pujols many times, not the least of which was against a young man that I was very close to. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2 and remain close to Thomas Diamond, who is from Kenner area, actually, and he went to Archbishop Rummel. And I told him I'd go see him when he pitched in the majors. He pitched at Busch Stadium against the Cardinals. You can guess what happened. Pitch is down and out, and the count goes to 2-2. He got through the first frame unscathed, but then in the second inning, he got 2 strikes on Pujols, and he deposited one over the center field fence. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Down a ball, and it's full 3-2. The irony of the situation is I love Diamond. but he's pitching for the team I like the least, of course, the Cubs at the time. So you talk about split affection. It's difficult. 3-2 the count. Next pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away. Catcher can't find it. Miller finally does. Guns it, throws it away. So it's going to be a strikeout. And the runner reaches, as Miller wasn't able to come up with that, and then his throw to first was high. He couldn't find it after the fact. So a strange way to create the first base runner for Maplewood.
We'll go as an E2 because he should have had him out at first base.
That throw was high. So each team with an error in the first inning, and Tyler Cox, their terrific power source, the designated hitter and cleanup hitter, bats and takes a strike. 383. He's got 17 bombs, 59 driven in, homered earlier today.
Yeah. And it was, you don't see many balls hit out between the two light poles out in left and right center field here.
Big swing and a big miss. And it's no balls and two strikes.
And he went opposite field, just to the right of the three flagpoles out there, basically between where the two baseballs are and the Mid-South coating sign out there in right center field, which is a long way away. And like I said, you'll see home runs hit here from basically the alleys to the line, but you don't see people very often go from the alleys to center field.
Took a ball, it's 1-2, and now take strike three, call, great pitch. And 3 strikeouts in succession for Heilman. Had to get the fourth out himself. Nothing across, a runner stranded on the error through 1. No score from Kirsch-Rooney Stadium. And you're listening to and watching the National Junior College South Central District Championship. Score from Kirsch-Rooney Stadium, along with Lenny Van Gilder. I'm Ken Trahan. Interestingly enough, each pitcher throwing 22 pitches in the first inning. Did it in different fashion, though, because while Heilman struck out 3 and was dominant, Funk did not record a strikeout and pitched out of a jam. And here in the second, he'll deal with Dylan Watson, to be followed by Christian Clayton and Brant Broussard. And a ball down to Dylan Weston to get things started. Weston at 305, 2 home runs, 25 driven in. Former Jesuit High star. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good pitch down in the zone. Equals the count at a ball and a strike. Both pitchers pitching at a quick pace. This is high, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
It's one thing about junior college baseball. You don't see a lot of, to borrow a word from Bull Durham, lollygagging out there. We played a 10-6 game in 2 hours and 20 minutes earlier.
Swing and a miss. Kept it down again and gets a swinging miss to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Major League Baseball just scratching their heads trying to figure out how they can shorten games. Trying just about everything. Now they're going to change the strike zone. Now they're going to just pass you on an intentional walk. Fouled out of play without having to make the pitches. So they're just pretty much grasping at straws. I would tell you right now, first of all, get rid of the DH, and that certainly would help. One side of the ledger is always playing longer games than the other side. The intentional walk thing, I think, is fine. Here's a fly ball to right, slicing toward the line, deep trouble into the corner. That's going to get down. Extra base is coming. Rounding first and heading for second is Weston. He will stand at second base with hanging off double in the second for the Dolphins.
Weston just got an outside pitch there and went with it down the right field line. And earlier we talked about when Podorski was up, he tried to hit a ball in the alley. It sliced back to the right fielder. That one sliced away from him and got down for an extra base hit. That's a good way to start the second for the Dolphins.
Christian Clayton bats. See if he's swinging or bunting. Right fielder at 283, a homer, and 11 driven in. On a swing and takes it high for a ball. Clayton out of Holy Cross High School in New Orleans. A ball and no strikes. And the pitch. And that's a strike called. It's 1-1. A lot of family ties in these programs. Clayton with a brother at Holy Cross now. We saw Jace Neaney pitch earlier today. His brother pitching at Archbishop Shaw where Jace pitched. 1-1 pitch. Drive toward the hole, a base hit to the left. Stopping at third will be Weston, and runners will be at the corners with nobody out, and here come the Dolphins.
Good swing there by Clayton. Didn't play in the first game. You're talking about ties. His former teammate, Christian Volion, started in the outfield in the first game. Clayton gets
so
the
what you're
start
saying,
here.
basically, his teammate kept him on the bench.
Something like that.
What's up with that? You got to have a conversation with him. What kind of teammate is that?
Well,
one that's very competitive, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. And look, you've got right now 2 on and nobody out for outside of Lahair, the hottest hitter in this lineup.
Broussard takes one down for a ball. 387 now, the gaudy average for Broussard. No homers and 17 driven in.
6 games ago, Kenny was hitting 288. He's hit 6 consecutive multi-hit games, 14 hits in 6 games.
I'd say he's hot. Broussard takes it in the dirt. Nice read by the runner at first. Breaks for second, and he is safe. So a good read by Clayton. And you have to make that decision immediately on the ball in the dirt, which he did. Good job by Perry to pick it and make a pretty accurate throw, though late. So it goes as a wild pitch. And now a base hit could play 2 for the Dolphins. In a game where you figure you're going to need runs to beat this hard-hitting team.
Not only all those hits, by the way, but 11 RBIs in that span. So a chance to add to that total with 2 in scoring position right here.
The 2-0 pitch. Swinging a foul to right toward the bullpen area of Maple Woods, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Brant Broussard. We're in the top of the second with no score. Game 3, the Junior College South Central District Championship here in New Orleans. On 2-1, Broussard takes a strike. Good breaking ball, and it's even at 2-2.
Broussard's one of those guys, and there's quite a few of them in the Delgado program that signed with 4-year schools, stayed there a year, and then transferred here to Delgado. He originally signed with Nichols.
Out of University High. The 2-2 pitch and a swing and a chopper toward the hole. Will get a run home. Third baseman across the diamond and got his man by a step for the out. Broussard retired on a 5-3 put out by Simpson. Scoring on the play. Weston and Delgado takes a 1-0 lead. 18th RBI for Broussard on the year. Clayton had to hold second. And Tyler Thompson will bat. 238 hitter. No homers and 2 driven in for the former Covington Lion. The pitch. And a drive toward left is sinking. That's a base hit. Stopping at third is Clayton as he had to make it get down. Now the runner gets caught up between first and second. Breaks for second. No throw. Aggressiveness pays off for Ty Thompson. Initially, that's one of those plays where the coach says, no, no, no. And then, yes, yes, yes.
Well, it was one of those things where the runner, Clayton, going from second to third, rounded third. He slipped and fell. And I'm sure it was a situation if he thought the throw was going through, he made a wide turn at first base and all of a sudden was caught in a pickle. Well, he didn't want to give Clayton a chance to score, which actually ended up working to Thompson's advantage right there.
Very much so. Second and third, one out, back to the top of the order, and Robbie Podorski, who flew out to right his first trip. He's driven in 19 runs, came in at 412, and a big opportunity here. Infield will stay back and concede a run for an out this early in the game.
And I think that says a lot about the Maple Woods offense and what they think about their offense as well.
Swing and a miss. Tied him up on a ball down under the hands. Podorski aggressively trying to drive home runs. Coming up empty. It's no balls and a strike.
In other words, they don't see themselves playing a lot of 2-1 games.
And I'm quite sure they don't. 0-1 the count. Podorski waits and Funk delivers. And a tap foul at the plate. So quickly Funk ahead of Podorsky. No balls and 2 strikes. Podorsky out of Dutchtown High School. Another outstanding program. The Griffins. Going to the count. Funk taking time now as he finally gets the one he likes from Perry. With the 0-2. Wasted it high and away. I say wasted, that is a description of what transpires 0-2 very frequently, where pitchers will intentionally just throw a fastball out of the zone to show a hitter a pitch and then come back with the one they want to use to get him out with, such as this one, which is a breaking ball beat toward the hole at short. Will get a run home. The throw to first. He beat it out. Infield single. Podorsky RBI, his 20th, and Delgado takes a 2-0 lead. And on the play, good base running on the back end by Clayton to get to third base. By Thompson, I should say.
Continue to put the pressure on here. I mean, that was one of those that just probably stayed back a little bit too much on right there, and Podorsky can really, really run and just legged it out.
Chance for a big inning. Daniel LaHare bats, flew out to left his first time. Runners at the corners, and then Podorsky, a real threat to run at first. He'll grab his lead with 1 out. Podorsky with 18 stolen bases and 19 attempts. Not going. Swing and a miss by LaHare. Deeper the count gets, the more likely it is that he will run. But they like LaHare's chances to drive in a run here. Don't want to take the bat out of his hands, and yet Podorsky can run, as mentioned. Decent lead, not a big one, not going. And a drive off the second baseman's glove, a base hit. He'll score another run. Crossing the plate is Thompson. Stopping at second base is Podorsky, and it is 3-0 Dolphins.
And again, the way Maple Woods swings the bat, you cannot score enough in this game. It's that simple. And Delgado doing a great job of swinging the bat here in the inning. 6 men have been at the plate. 5 of them have hits. But I'm sure there's no thought of taking the foot off the accelerator by any means.
Owen McGee reached on an error his first time. First and second, 1 out. And McGee takes a strike. Owen, another Brother Martin High School product. Just a consistent hitter on the high school level, and he has maintained that level at the plate here at Delgado in 2 seasons. 0-1. Down and in. Good read again, and the runners will advance. That's just a really good read by the front-end runner, Podorsky, who runs well anyway. Read that breaking ball down.
I think Podorsky took off on the pitch while it was on the way before it was even in the dirt. So
it would be a double steal.
Yeah, it could be a double steal.
For Podorsky and LaHare. One and 1 the count, and another. McGee takes it down and away, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
And again, it's 3-0. You've got second and third, 1 out, and the infield continues to play back. Now, I understand the thought of not giving up a hit to score 2, but they have that much confidence in their offense that they're going to stay back and allow a run to score here and trade a run for an out.
Fouled back to the screen. It's 2-2.
McGee, by the way, fooled me in the earlier game, Ken. Hit a shot down the left field line that seemed from my vantage point over here to be hooking foul, and he just stayed straight and stayed fair just inside the pole for a 2-run homer.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
That at that point gave Delgado a 3-0 lead in the first game.
McGee chops it foul over toward the Delgado dugout as the count remains 2-2 with 2 on and 1 out, 3 home in the top of the second. Delgado, the visiting team in this game, with a 3-run lead. Interestingly, Delgado has only played 48 games coming into this one, while Maple Woods has played 58. A pretty big disparity. Breaking ball, fly ball, center field. We'll get a run home. Back to get it is McMahon. Surrounds it, catches it, tagging from third and scoring is Podorsky. The throw toward third is cut off. It's a sacrifice fly by Owen McGee. His 46th driven in, and the Dolphins expand the lead to 4-0. Good situational hitting by McGee, but we're accustomed to seeing him do that over several years now.
Yeah, I think we've watched him, about 9 years now, and it's maybe 3 here and 6 at Brother Martin, it seems like. He's been in the lineup for that long.
Runner at third with 2 outs. And a pitch down to LaGreco for a ball. LaGreco with a ringing double to left his first time was stranded. And the 1-0. And that is down as well. 2-0. Pretty deep for LaGreco. And again, Funk is always comfortable from the stretch with men on base. Strike called. I say that because obviously you have a choice with a runner at third. 2 balls and a strike.
Could certainly wind in this situation if you want to, but chooses to continue to work from the stretch with the runner at third.
Has a high stretch position, delivers. Fouled, right side, out of play, and it's 2-2. That high stretch position can be more deceitful to the base runners, but it's harder to hold it from a pitcher's perspective. Chopped up the middle towards short. Tough chance. Gets through. Run scores. 5-0 Dolphins. Probably a bad hop single there. Having to move on the play was Baumgartner. That ball just hopped over him. That's an RBI single for LaGreco. His 37th run driven in, and Delgado leads it 5-0.
Catcher number 5, Spencer Miller.
And now Spencer Miller becomes the 9th batter to hit in the inning. Spencer Miller grounded to second, who had the threat in the first inning. This is high for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, LaGreco now 5 hits in his last 6 at-bats here today. In fact, just 5 for 6 period, because he had a walk his first time up. He's been on base 6 out of 7 times in 2 games today.
Throw to first, runner back. Been a 5-run inning for the Dolphins already, trying to get some more. Miller with 32 driven in. LaGreco leads, not going, and a chop foul over toward the Dolphin dugout. It's a ball and a strike. Delgado occupying the third base dugout here on their home field.
Even though they're the visiting team in this game, they're just set it up that way.
Here's the 1-1, and that misses down and away. It's 2 balls and a strike. On 2-1, Funk to first, runner back.
And the NCAA has crazy rules about dugouts. The home team has to occupy the third base dugout, which has never made much sense to me. What is the difference?
Take your pick. Kidding me? There's a chop foul behind the plate. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If the home team is
It's a little bit akin to the NCAA regionals, though, which I never understood. If you're hosting a regional, why abandon your dugout? I don't care whether you're the home team or the visiting team.
Right.
You have your dugout, you have your clubhouse. Why abandon your dugout? That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
Delgado's clubhouse is right behind the third base dugout, a.k.a. the fish tank.
Correct. I'm glad you clarified that. Clubhouse, fish tank. 3-2 the count. Because that's an ongoing issue. One of these days, we'll get them all.
There'll be a real look. Progress is happening.
You got it.
The indoor
runner
facility
goes, fly ball, foul, left side out of play. Yes,
over towards the indoor facility there.
I'm going to continue to lobby, and ultimately something good will happen, much like the hitting facility. 3-2 the count. What a wonderful place to come. The sounds, the feel, the smell, the memories. Runner didn't go. I don't know why he didn't go. It was 3-2 with 2 outs, but it's ball 4. look at Coach Tollier. So it's a walk. Nonetheless, that's a bailout, I guess, right? So runners end up at first and second with 2 outs, and Dylan Weston will bat. Weston started this inning with a double, and here comes a visit to the mound. So Coach Kilgore is obviously concerned about where his pitching is, and the bullpen gets busy.
We're getting a change. We have a new pitcher coming in.
So we are going to get a change. Funk is going to depart after just 1 2/3 innings, and with the pitching change, we'll take a quick timeout. It's 5-0 Delgado here in the top of the second. You're watching the National Junior College South Central District Championship and listening to it as well. We're back in just a moment. The top of the second inning as Funk is done, and coming on to pitch for Maplewoods here in the second inning is the young man that closed the first game of this tournament earlier today and got a save in the process, and is in there now to take over. That's Jake Smith, because Smith comes in.
And you've got the updated numbers over there. Smith,
I do.
Smith started their fourth most games this year. They're obviously, when you've got a staff ERA of 7.91 coming in, it's not like you've got, your guys sitting in particular roles, that this guy's your closer, this guy's your number 2, this guy's your number 3. Although, Funk and the game 1 starter, Jackson Jones, have been their 2 best starting pitchers down the stretch. But Smith came on, got the last 4 outs, and look, it was a run rule 13-2 game, but when he came in, it was 6-2 with 2 men on and 2 men out. It was a save situation. He got out of the 6th, and then in the 7th inning, after 7 runs scored, he gave up a couple of base runners, but then pitched his way out of it and got the save.
Which is his first save of the year. He has a record of 4-4, and his earned run average is now 7.26. 7 starts in his 12 appearances. 2 complete games, by the way, as a starting pitcher. And Smith delivers, and here's a drive toward right field. The second baseman, rather, caught it on the line drive. Never got to right, and the inning is over. So hit hard, but out. So 1 pitch, and he's out of it. Weston is retired, but Delgado has an inning. 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors. And the Dolphins strand 2. They've left 4. Bottom of the second coming. It's Delgado 5, and Maplewood nothing. And this is the National Junior College South Central District Championship. Back in just a moment as you watch and listen to it. Earned. He walked 1 and did not record a strikeout. Had a wild pitch. Could lose, cannot win. First pitch to start the bottom of the second to Will Gibas is high for a ball. Gibas to be followed by Perry and Baumgartner against Heilman, who just threw his 23rd pitch of the game, and his 24th is a swing and a miss. Gibas 351, 9 homers and 44 driven in. Heilman struck out 3 in the first inning. He needed to face 4 batters though. 1-1. Strike called. It's 1-2.
Big inning here for Heilman. He's got a lead to work with. Now he just needs to get the shutdown inning.
There's a drive into right center field. That's a hit. Stopping at first. Gibas with the leadoff single here in the second. I was just about to say that Heilman had to sit and wait a long time in that half inning.
He didn't get up and throw, but that's every pitcher deals with that a little bit differently. Gibas had 4 hits his last 4 trips in the first game against Eastern Oklahoma, so that's 5 consecutive hits now for Gibas. And we mentioned this team can really, really swing the bat.
Jake Perry, the catcher. Speaking of good hitters, 358, 14 homers, 64 RBI. And look at that hack, 0-1. Talk about coming out of your shoes. When you see Cox, Gibas, and Perry take their hacks, the old saying they don't get cheated is an understatement. Open stance, stands upright. Cranks it toward third, could turn. McGee to second, 1, relay to first. That's 2. Around the horn, McGee to Broussard to Weston. The eraser, and quickly 2 disposed of by Howland in the second.
That's big. Wipe out the threat right away. The leadoff single is quickly erased as McGee handled it with no problem.
And Broussard wisely took his time, made a nice relay throw. Over but high with a breaking ball to Baumgartner. The first pitch from Heilman is back to live action, 1-0. Baumgartner at 287, 3 homers and 27 driven in. Stepped out to try to slow Heilman down. Heilman likes to work quickly, and he wanted to get back in that dugout quickly, so Baumgartner stepped out on him. 1-0 the count. Up and in, 2-0. Interesting, too. You watch Heilman pitch, it's interesting in this day and age, in the old days. I hate that phrase, the old days, but in previous times.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, who pitched from the stretch with nobody on base? Nobody did, but nowadays.
Not starters, certainly.
No,
you see relievers do it.
We see a lot more of it now, though, because pitching coaches just tell you, let's get where you're most comfortable. And we see it a lot with relievers. 2-1 now after a strike called. And this one's inside on the hands. Checked his swing, didn't go. It's 3-1. Good hard stuff from Heilman. Just missed the inside edge. So 3 balls and a strike on Hayden Baumgartner. Nobody on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Delgado up 5-0. And a pitch up for ball 4. So a walk issued to Baumgartner with 2 outs. The first walk given by Heilman, which will bring Andrew Curry to the plate. Curry at 348. 9 home runs, 44 RBI. They've got some gaudy numbers up and down their lineup. Check of the runner and the pitch. Fastball just missed the outside edge. Plate a little bit small early on in this game.
Notice that really all day long here with these umpires in from Florida, that they don't get a lot of corners.
And this misses down, so it's 2 balls and no strike. Heilman is not wild; he's around the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. And another swing and miss. 2-1 to Curry. Big hack there as well. By Curry.
We were mentioning earlier, Ken, that like the old days of the Division I College World Series, the JUCO World Series is a preset bracket.
High and away, it's 3 balls and a strike. Curry's a big kid, 6'5", 205 pounds.
And we now know who one of the survivor of these 2 teams will play in the first round of the JUCO World Series. It will be Yavapai from Arizona.
Chop toward deep short. Back in the hole to get it. And making the play to the second base is Thompson for the force, and the inning is over. With no runs and a hit, 1 stranded. They left 2, and after 2, Delgado on top of Maple Woods, 5-0. You're watching and listening to the National Junior College South Central District Championship, and we're back in just a moment. One error and 4 left for Delgado. It's no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left for Maple Woods as we head to the 3rd inning. And Delgado will have the bottom 3 in the order up against reliever Jake Smith, Christian Clayton, Brant Broussard, and Tyler Thompson here in the 3rd inning of play. Ken Trahan, Lenny Van Gilder with you. Game 3 of the Junior College South Central District Championship here in New Orleans. Game 1 was won by Maple Woods, 13-2 over Eastern Oklahoma State. And then Game 2 won by Delgado, 10-6 over Eastern Oklahoma to eliminate the squad from Eastern Oklahoma State. Down to these 2 teams, and right now Delgado is up in Game 3, 5-0 as we head to the third. And here is Christian Clayton. Singled and scored in that 5-run second inning. First pitch from Smith. And that missed inside for a ball to Clayton. Jake Smith, 6'2", 200 pounds. Sophomore out of Springfield, Missouri. There's a hard hit ball to third. Nice play by Thompson. Throws him out. Shot right into the body. And he handled it cleanly.
Seeing a lot of hard hit outs thus far here. And that's another one right there. Nice job staying in front of that one.
Brant Broussard to the plate. Grounded to third his first trip. As Lenny mentioned, a hot hitter. Broussard took it up and in. Ball one. Broussard wears those pants high. Shows the stockings, which I always enjoy. Love the colors. There's the 1-0 pitch. Strike is called. It's 1-1. Hey, listen, it's all about comfort for the players, whatever they're comfortable with. In the old days, the uniform police would never have let teams do what they do now. Some wear pants long, some wear them short on the same team. No way, no how. Things have changed. Here's a ball down and out, and it's 2 balls and a strike. And as always, sometimes change is good, and sometimes not so much.
Yeah, exactly. And you're going to see a lot of Delgado players showing the high socks. No question about it.
2-1 the count. Sign given. Smith ready. Pitch is on the way. And he hits it toward the second baseman who bobbles and can't find it. Not a tough chance at all. McLaughlin just didn't handle it and then couldn't find it. Well, it was not a hard hit ball, so that's the second error of the game for Maplewood.
Routine, basically. 3-hop. Just came up on it too quick, I guess. And this, look, Maplewood's team had 109 errors in 57 games coming into this district championship. So
Ty Thompson singled his first time, scored a run, tried to bunt his way on, and fouls it back to the screen. Bunting for a hit there, not a sack.
And he's not afraid to do that from the 9-hole, and it's not a bad idea. Look, here's the thing with that. If he gets it down and he beats it out, great, it's first and second. If he just gets it down and gets thrown out, now you've got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs and you just flipped over the lineup. So not a bad thing for a 9-hole hitter, especially one that can run, to try.
0-1 is fouled back to the screen. It's no balls and 2 strikes. As Smith gets ahead of Thompson with Podorski on deck. We're in the top of the third. Delgado 5-0 over Maplewood. From the stretch, Smith to the plate. Fouled to the screen once more off the bat of Thompson. Holding at 0-2. Lights taking full effect now in the City Park region of New Orleans. Was at a wedding at City Park earlier today. A little warm, but really nice. On 0-2, another pitch. Strike 3 call. Good pitch by Smith. Takes care of Thompson. Round number 2. And now Robbie Podorski will bat. Podorski singled, stole a base, scored a run, drove in a run. All happening in the second inning.
This Delgado team, with Podorski back in the lineup, is a much better offensive team with him kind of setting the table. Had a high ankle sprain, missed about 11 games late in the year, came back right at the end of the BRCC
There's
series.
a delayed steal. Throw down is in and safe. So a delayed steal by Broussard. Caught them a little bit off guard. Had a chance to get him, but it required a swipe tag because the infielder was flashing across the bag, running at full speed to get there. He couldn't quite get the tag around his body to get him.
You still don't. Now all of a sudden you see the runner come in. Yeah, he had to come all the way across and almost try to make a tag behind his back because the throw was to the shortstop side of the bag with the second baseman covering.
Third stolen base of the game for the Dolphins, have swiped 68 this year. And now Broussard in scoring position for Podorski. Tried to bunt his way on. That's an unusual play. with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. But again, with his speed, can understand it, try to keep the train moving. 1-1 the count.
And you got LaHare in the on-deck circle.
Correct.
So anything you could do to get LaHare to the plate with men on base is a good thing.
I'm with you. I just like to drive in runs.
Oh. And I'm with you. It is a little unorthodox, but I do get it.
1-1 the count. Podorski has driven in 20 now with his RBI in this game. Robbie swings and shoots a line drive, base hit to left center. Well, that's why I wanted him to swing. Scoring on the play, Broussard, and Delgado increases its lead to 6-0. So Podorski, a 2 RBI game, has 21 on the year. And you mentioned it, they're a different team with him in this lineup. Daniel LaHare has singled, driven home a run, stolen a base, scored a run. LaHare took it away for ball 1. And tight zone. 1-0 the count. Runner goes and a fly ball to center field. In his tracks, the center fielder takes a step back and making the catch, McMahon. And the inning is over. Delgado gets a run on a hit. 1 error, 1 stranded. They've left 5. Bottom of the 3rd coming. It's the Dolphins 6 and the Monarchs nothing. And you are listening to and watching the National Junior College South Central District Championship. Woods, along with Lenny Van Gilder, I'm Ken Trahan, and here in the bottom of the 3rd, the Monarchs will send Conrad McMahon to the plate to be followed by Clayton Risch and Levi McLaughlin against Evan Heilman, who's thrown 37 pitches in 2 innings. He's walked 1, and he struck out 3. And here's McMahon. He's batting .361, 5 home runs, 44 RBI for the center fielder of the Monarchs. Squared the bunt, took a ball down and in.
And as we talked about in the opening game, Ken, this tells you just how good of a hitting team this is. You got a .361 hitter with 5 home runs batting in the 9 hole.
Pops it foul, right side out of play, and it's 1-1. Again, they don't take pitches. They're down 6, up in the count, hacking. 1-1 the count. And another on the way. Showed bunt again, and this pitch was high. Did he go around? He did. On the bunt attempt, McMahon is in the hole, 1-2.
So with Yavapai having solidified their spot in the field, they're the Western District champion. Now 6 of the 10 teams in the Junior College World Series are set.
Swing and a miss. Good hook by Heilman. Round number 1. He's had the feel for that breaking ball from the get-go in this game.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. And look, that's a pitch you've got to have, okay? A good breaking ball can be a great equalizer at just about any level of baseball, really.
Clayton Risch grounded back to Heilman in the bottom of the 1st. Pitch on the way. Top foul behind the plate. Again, they're hacking. 0-1.
Now, one of these 2 teams is going to go in with 35 or 36 wins, perhaps. Everybody who's in the Junior College World Series field thus far has at least 42 wins. Up and in, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Dolphins have been there 3 times under Joe Sherman, trying to make it a 4th. Coach Sherman in his 26th season. Hard to fathom. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2 sweeping breaking ball. And I say that because
we both have known Joe for a long time, and it doesn't seem like he was playing all that long ago or even coaching at Tulane. 1-2. Down a ball. It's 2-2.
I remember in the summer of 1990, Reg Sherman was inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and announced then that he was not going to return as coach.
Up the middle, knocked down by Heilman. Beautiful kick save. Threw him out. Well, the National Hockey League conference finalists would be proud of that. Let's hope Heilman's okay. That was your basic kick save. And that's really what he did on that play. He's kind of instinctively swung his leg, and it looked like it got a piece of his leg or his foot. I think it was like the top of the foot, I want to say. And he seems to be just fine.
Yeah, well, the trainer didn't come out. That probably tells you what you need to know right there. He's a tough young man. It's like, just give me a second, but I'm fine.
Levi McLaughlin struck out swinging his first time.
Is it kick save and a beauty? Is that the
kick save and a beauty? The ball down and in. Kick save and a beauty. Is it like that's a base hit and a single?
Something like that.
Want to know the count?
I've never done hockey before.
I understand. Ground ball deep short. Nice backhand pick. Throw across. Got him. What a play. Nicely done by Thompson. Weston on the back end. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Heilman. We've played 3. Delgado 6-0 over Maplewoods. Back in a moment from Kirsch-Rooney Stadium. Runs, 8 hits, 1 error. 5 left for Delgado. It's no runs, 1 hit, 2 errors, and 2 left for Maplewoods. And here in the 4th, Dolphins need to continue to play add-on against this hard-hitting Maplewood squad, and they have the heart of the order to do so. Owen McGee, J.P. LaGreco, and Spencer Miller to oppose Jake Smith here in the 4th inning. Smith came on in the 2nd inning for the starter, Tyler Funk, who I guess you could say went into a funk and had to depart. How many times has he heard that? There's a drive to left down the line. Hooking it is foul, and it snowballs in a strike.
One thing I probably should bring up here, we had it in the first game with the run rule. The run rule remains in effect until we get to the championship game. We are obviously still in the round robin portion of it, although in effect we've become a best of 3 series. But when we get to the championship round, it's a 9-inning game no matter what. But as that pitch misses outside for a ball, the NJCAA run rule is a 10-run lead after 5 innings or an 8-run lead after 7 innings.
1 ball and 1 strike on McGee. Here's another pitch on the way, and that is down for a ball, and it's 2-1.
Look, I think it's something when you get a lead, I think it's something you got to think about. If you can conserve innings for your pitching staff, having to put your team out there, it's,
There's a line drive base hit to right by McGee. Drives one to right for his first knock of the game. And the 9th hit for Delgado. And that will get J.P. LaGreco to the plate, who has gotten 2 of those hits. Doubled in the first, single homer run in the second.
I mentioned he is 5 for 6 today, went 3 for 4 in the opener with that huge bases clearing double in the 5-run 8th inning that turned a 5-5 game into a 10-5 Delgado lead.
Pitch in the dirt, gets away. Wild pitch. And on the second goes McGee with nobody out. Smith pitching in his second game today. So Marty Kilgore clearly looking at the big picture right now in terms of conservation with pitching, as you alluded to. It's important. You got to win the whole thing. You know, the whole thing isn't won in just one game.
No, not at all. And you have to try to make sure you've got enough to get you through 2 or 3 games, whatever the case may be here, the rest of the way.
Swing and a miss. Greco comes up empty. It's 1-1. JP with 37 RBI on the year. A ball and a strike. The next pitch. Outside, gets back to the screen. Another wild one. And on the third goes McGee. So a base hit, 2 wild pitches has McGee at third. And a favorable 2-1 count for LaGreco to try to get him home. Nightfall just about arriving here in New Orleans on what is a clear night. And the 2-1. Foul back. It's 2-2. Thursday night was anything but clear. I think most everyone's had power restored by now. It's pretty interesting times for a lot of people. We were part of that. Without power for a while. 2-2 the count. Here's another. That missed down. Off-speed pitch. It's full 3-2.
The Shermans, who live about 3 blocks from Kirsch-Rooney Stadium, were as well. In fact, I think they were the only house on their block that was out.
What's up with that? 3-2 the count. Payoff pitch on the way to JP LaGreco from Jake Smith. And a drive to right, slicing foul. Into the corner. It holds at 3-2. Was Rags mad or something?
I don't know. If I thought Joe paid the bills in the house, I think maybe that had something to do with it.
I'm just checking to make sure. Or maybe Gene was mad.
That could be.
Treat my daughter a little bit better every day. I know you love her. It's all good. Payoff pitch. And here's a fly ball and a right center field, a base hit. Scoring on the play is McGee. And LaGreco delivers his 3rd consecutive hit. His 2nd RBI. It's a 7-0 game as he drove down in the right center field. And LaGreco now with 38 RBI on the year. And the Dolphins trying to build another inning with nobody out. Spencer Miller is grounded out and walked. The pitch. Down a ball, 1-0. Interesting contrast. As I mentioned earlier, watching Tyler Funk, his stretch position was way up at his neck near his eyes. And while that can be effective against base runners, it's hard to hold that position. You look at Smith, his stretch position is down at the belt. Tap foul, it's 1-1. That's the more traditional position. A little bit easier to hold that position because you're relaxing your arms.
Sure,
and your hands.
it's more natural. And, you know, we've seen Smith in both games, and really I think, you know, you've got to look at him as being one of the hot hands. You know, the 2 starters we've seen have been their 2 primary starters, but Smith coming out of the pen has been outstanding down the stretch.
Chop foul off the bat of Miller over toward the Delgado dugout. And he finds himself in arrears, 1-2.
Yeah, this was keep in mind now, this was a Maple Woods team that lost 5 of its last 6 in the regular season, and then went 5-0 over the course of 2 weekends in the Region 16 tournament, and then won the opening game today.
Hard hit base hit right field. Miller, beautiful piece of hitting. Went and got a pitch down and out and went right with it. Stopping at second, McGee, he had to make sure that ball didn't hit him, so he didn't quite have to jump rope, but he hesitated to make sure the ball got through. First and second, nobody out.
And really, in that stretch, as you look back at Smith's last few appearances here, 4 appearances or really 5 appearances, counting the one today, covering 13 2/3 innings. He had allowed 7 hits and 1 earned run. I believe that's right. I make 3 hits in a row. 10 hits and 1 earned run. Well, he's getting He's given up hits to 4 of the last 5 batters here this evening.
Misses to Weston, 1-0. Weston has a double, has scored a run, and he lined out to second.
And now this will be the second time through the order for Smith as he's seen all of the Delgado hitters, or they've seen him once.
11 hits now for the Dolphins. We're only in the 4th inning. Swing and a miss. Weston opened up a little bit on that one, trying to jerk it. 1-1 the count.
You look back, and it looks like earlier in the year that Smith was kind of the middle of the week starter. They play 4-game conference series in Region 16.
Swing and a miss by Weston. There's a big young man, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Usually it's a doubleheader at each team's home. Usually split over the course. Maybe it's either a 2 or a 3-day proposition, depending on how far apart the teams are located.
1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 on and nobody out for Delgado. Smith, a long look, the pitch. Down and out. Nice stop by Perry. Shifted the weight nicely and prevents another wild pitch. Count is even 2-2.
I think you were talking about the difference in the schedules and the number of games. That's part of the thing with Delgado, in that instead of having a big 6-team region or conference, or really, well, actually there's 8 teams in Missouri, but you don't have that built-in schedule of all those games.
Missed away. It's full 3-2. We spoke with Joe Sherman about that on a radio show, and he talked about the fact, he lamented the fact that they tried hard to get into that Alabama region, but those teams want a guarantee that a team from their state's going to make it to the World Series, so they really don't want it, and that's unfortunate. 3-2, 2 on the pitch, and a tap foul at the plate keeps Weston alive, because that would be the prudent scenario. The other thing that would make sense, as Joe talked about on the same program with us, is the fact that he's lobbied hard for a couple of years now to put a 4th team, a wild card team, into this tournament to make it a real bracket, and they have said no.
Well, and that's exactly the Western tournament, which is the winner will face this winner.
Fouled off the end of the bat, first base side. Staying alive as Weston at 3-2.
That's exactly what they do. They've got 3 regions that come together, and the host region adds a 4th, their second place team, to make a 4-team tournament.
3 balls and 2 strikes.
And I believe there are some others that follow a similar format.
Of course, so much easier with a 4-team scenario. 3-2 the count. Another payoff pitch from Smith to Weston. And strike 3 called. Good pitch by Smith. Gets the first out of the inning. Weston retired. And Christian Clayton will bat. He has singled, scored a run, grounded to third. It's a big out in the scheme of things because of the mercy rule that you spoke of. If you get another base runner there with nobody out, this game might not last very long, but now certainly it can. Smith with a chance to get out of it with a double play ball here. And he gets a ground ball to second. That is your basic double play ball. Tag him, throw it, and there it is. Inning over. So the 4-3 double play ends the inning. First double play turn by the Monarchs. A run, 3 hits, a runner stranded, the 6th left for Delgado. Bottom of the 4th coming, 7-0 Dolphins on top at Kirsch-Rooney Stadium. Delgado on top of Maple Woods, Missouri. Evan Heilman is back to the mound. He's pitched very well. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 48 pitches in 3 innings, 29 of which have been strikes. He's only allowed 1 hit. They don't face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Maplewoods in the 4th. Connor Simpson, Tyler Cox, and Will Givas. And while I have this opportunity, I'd also like to salute gentlemen helping make this possible tonight, including a friend. I'm not going to say an old friend, but Bob Dunn's doing a great job. So good to see Bob again. Real professional. Known him for a long time in this industry, and he's a pro. It's great to be with him. Of course, always good to have Nat Collins and Adam Bryant taking care of business. Although they seem to be having much too much fun between games. There's a strike called. It's 0-1. I mean, come on. It's a serious job, right?
We never are too serious about anything.
Of course not. Just, of course, they're great guys, and they do a terrific job. 0-1 pitch. Missing down and out to Simpson. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the 1-1. Foul back to the screen. Good cut by Simpson. It's 1-2. Heilman's had good command. We talked about his breaking ball being very good early on. He's got the fastball going as well. 1-2 the count. Heilman ready, delivering in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Flags are pretty much dead still in center field. We have no breeze to speak of at the ballpark.
Yeah, it was that way right before first pitch. Then we started to get a little bit of a breeze, and now, yeah, they are limp again.
2-2 is popped straight back and out of play by Simpson, holding at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now the 2-2 pitch. And just missed away. Miller thought he might have had him again. The zone's been tight. It's full 3-2.
But it's been the same both ways.
It has
been very consistent. Haven't seen a lot of, anything up, anything on the corners.
Payoff pitch, and that hit him. So that got a piece of Simpson, and he's going to try to shake that off. Got a part of his hand or wrist. He'll go to first, hit by pitch. Good start to the 4th inning. A painful one, but good one for Maplewood. As Simpson is aboard. Never want to see a guy get hit on the hand or wrist area. You just don't have any protection there at all. And he's being tended to as we speak. And wincing, I might add. It's his right hand, wrist area. Looks to be the back of the hand. And that's typically where you get it with the way you're holding the bat. What you worry about there are the fingers, the bones. It's just not a good thing.
Sure. Marty Kilgore, the Maplewood skipper, out to take a look as well. I mean, this is your 3-hole hitter and your starting third baseman.
It's exactly what it is. It's the back of his hand. And he's flexing those fingers, and the trainer comes out now to tend to him. And in the old days, they bring out the spray, right? Again, the old days. Got to get away from that.
Back in the day, they had.
Yeah, but back in the day, I got to get away from that too. In previous times, you used to bring out the old freeze spray or whatever you called it. What do you call it? Freeze spray. There you go. Thanks, Bob.
Technical term.
Well done. I mean, I'm asking the engineer. I figured he'd come up with something kind of like an MD. When you get a prescription, you read something that says Paludazala Galubadin, and so what the heck is that? I don't know. It's Prevacid. I mean, come on, really. Freeze spray. Cold stuff.
Cold spray.
Cold
That's
spray.
What I remember it being.
Yeah, it's like they spray the stuff like, man, you hurt me more. Come on. Oh, man, that really stings. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Get that stuff off of me. But that's what they did. Just spray the guy. Oh, you're okay. Go play.
Simpson's taking the glove off. I guess that's a good sign.
Going to stay in the game. Okay. So let's hope that's the case.
Yes.
Quite a delay there. Tyler Cox will bat. So you get a chance to watch Cox take his big hacks. He struck out in the first looking. It's unusual, but watch his batting style. You being a Houston Astros guy. A little bit of Jeff Bagwell there. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. And what I mean by that is a very much of a crouch and the movement of the bat. I talked about one of the hitters being still earlier. Look at him. Weighs the bat the whole time. Hits out of a crouch. Takes it high. It's 1-1. Look, to each his own. Everybody's got a style. Everybody's got a comfort level. It's all about how you get the bat through the zone.
And if he gets a hold of one, look out.
Yellow. The 1-1 pitch. Fisted toward first. Weston bobbles. He should have just taken the out and misses up the play. Why he even thought about looking to second, I have no idea in that situation. And that's a situation on a slowly hit ball off the hands with a 7-run lead. You just take your out. Instead, he looked toward second and he lost the ball.
Straight outs.
Now you have 2 on, nobody out, and 2 gift base runners, a hit batsman and an error. And this team doesn't need much help with their ability to hit the baseball. Here's G-Boss, who singled his first time.
G-Boss coming in has 5 consecutive hits after that hit in the second inning. So he may be the hottest guy on this team, and they all swing it well.
G-Boss takes a strike. Delgado looks for the double play ball. They've turned one. Each team now has made a couple of errors, so it's not been the cleanest game.
And look, these two teams realize what's at stake, and you're probably going to have a little bit of tightness out there when it comes to that.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled, back to the screen. G-Boss in the hole, 0-2. Perry on deck.
This is junior college baseball's equivalent of a super regional, and basically we're down to what an NCAA super regional would be. Best of 3, and the winner goes to the World Series.
No balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased the high heater out of the zone for out number 1. Big strikeout for Heilman is his 5th of the game. And now Jake Perry, who grounded into a 5-4-3 double play in the second, will bat with 2 on, 1 out.
Catcher number 12, Jake Perry.
Whatever pitch you threw to roll him over then. Think about it right here.
Infield at double play depth. Runners away first and second. Heilman's pitch. Breaker down and away. 1-0. One-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Big hack. It's 1-1.
These guys do not get cheated by any stretch of the imagination.
A ball and a strike on Perry. Foul back to the screen. It's 1-2. Bob Gardner on deck. Heilman trying to pitch around a hit batsman and an error. First time in the game that Maple Woods has had a runner to second base. The 1-2 pitch. High. And it is 2-2. Heilman ready with the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Heated him up away. Got him for the second out. Strikeout number 6 for Evan. And here's Hayden Baumgartner, who walked his first trip.
Went high and away there, and good job here by Heilman. Was first and second, nobody out, and he's come back to get a pair of strikeouts. And really, that could have been nobody on with 2 out, as you mentioned, the hit batter and the E3.
Missing away with his first offering to Baumgartner is Heilman. It's 1-0. Now the 1-0. Strike is called. It's 1-1. Delgado with 5 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, with a 7-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. And the 1-1. Waved at a breaking ball and looked bad in the process. It's 1-2. Did not read that pitch at all. That pitch was a good foot off the plate. 1-2 the count. Clearly not looking for it. Runners lead, the 1-2 pitch, and a breaking ball fouled. Just got a piece. Left that one out over the plate, but again, the hook enough to get him off stride. It's holding at 1-2. Got to guard against the fastball behind in the count. You get something else, it could be a problem. Interesting how you've got the, and I noted this at games we did this year, lights off of the campus building shining from behind center field, which could be a distraction to hitters at night. 1-2 pitch. And he waved at that breaking ball again, way out of the zone. Struck out the last 3 after giving up 2 base runners. Inning over with no runs, no hits, 1 error, 2 stranded. They've left 4 after 4. Delgado in control, 7-0 over Maplewoods here at Kirsch-Rooney Stadium. To the 5th we go. Jake Smith back to the mound, came in the 2nd. Still out there as we start the 5th. And Smith will face Brant Broussard, Ty Thompson, and then the top of the order, and Robbie Podorski for Delgado here in the 5th inning. Dolphins have scored in all but 1 frame. Maplewood has not scored yet. And Evan Heilman has really been the story thus far, Lenny. He's only allowed 1 hit in 4 innings, and he struck out 7.
Yeah, and again, we can't underemphasize just how good of a Maplewoods offense this is with a .351 team batting average and 74 home runs on the season. And he has held them in check thus far and made them look, fairly average, I would say. Certainly not like a .351 hitting team.
Here's Brant Broussard, and here is a pitch inside from Smith. It's 1-0. Broussard has grounded to third, reached on an error, stolen a base, scored a run. 0 for 2 officially. He's been a hot hitter of late. Trying to get something started for the Dolphins in the 5th inning. Broussard takes a strike. It's 1-1. Defense pretty much straight up for Brant. Here's the 1-1. Missing inside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-1, missing down and away. 3 balls and a strike to Broussard. Dolphins with base runners in every inning. The 3-1 pitch, up and in. So a leadoff walk issued to Broussard to start the 5th. And the Dolphins looking to build on this lead. And the leadoff man off for the 3rd time in 5 innings. And here is Ty Thompson. And now we'll get a visit to the mound. Thompson has singled, scored, struck out, bullpen busy for the Monarchs. And the visit to the mound coming as a right-hander throws in the bullpen.
Looks like 19, is that right? That would be Tyler Burrow.
It is indeed number 19, Tyler Burrow. The sophomore who is warming in the bullpen. A long visit here will prompt the home plate umpire to come out and break it up. Of course, they're buying for time for Burrow. A lot of reasons for the slow walks to the mound, mostly to get pitchers time to get ready. And then the stall out there. And then on other occasions, they'll stand out there because they're not happy about a particular call and trying to get the home plate umpire to come out so they can get a word or two in. And make him make the walk. The idiosyncrasies of baseball. It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Ty Thompson, pitch on the way. Look out, skipped rope on a pitch down and in to avoid it. It's 1 ball and no strikes. On a night in City Park where the moon is full beyond the left field fence. Here's the 1-0. Strike is called. It's 1-1.
A little hazy, in fact. Kind of a nice eerie effect to it.
It almost looks artificial, doesn't it? 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Chopper foul. It's 1-2. Are we perhaps misplaced or displaced? Is this not Gotham? Is that not the bat light shining?
I don't see a
symbol.
I don't see the symbol in there. So
1-2 the count. And another to Thompson. Chopper toward third. Short hop pick. Throw to second. One. Back to first. Not in time. Good job by Simpson on the short hop to field it cleanly and to get the lead runner Broussard at second for out number one. Thompson will run the bases at first. And the lineup flips to Robbie Podorski, who's had a big game. Podorski flew out to right in the first, but then singled, stole a base, scored a run, drove in a run in the second, singled to drive in a run in the third. Right-handed hitter. The pitch toward the hole. It's short, high chop, fielded, throw to second, one, no relay. So Bumgarner to McLaughlin to get the lead man at second. Podorski grounds into the fielder's choice. Two gone, and Daniel LaHare will bat. So a one pitch out for Smith, and Al LaHare, who has singled, stolen a base, scored a run, driven in a run. He's 1 for 3. Ten home runs for LaHare, tops on the squad.
Might be more remarkable than the 10 home runs is the 9 triples.
Yeah, that was a special number. Runner goes, pitch down, throw down, bounces, will never get him. Stolen base for Podorski, the fourth of the game for Delgado. And for Robbie Podorski, his 20th of the year in 21 attempts. So he's in scoring position, which is where you want to be with 2 outs, with a good hitter at the plate. One ball and no strikes. LaHare waits. Smith obliges. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-1. Straight up in the outfield and infield for LaHare. 1 ball and 1 strike. Another pitch. And that misses over but low. 2-1.
LaHare hit 2 triples in the first game. One went to left center field. One went to right center field. It's hard to hit it. Hard to hit a triple left center field, but it was one of those balls that was not sharply hit, but it was just in the right place, and it split the outfielders and rolled all the way to the wall.
2 balls and a strike. And a little balk there. It was pretty obvious. He paused, and then as he eyed the runner at second, he moved his leg very clearly without making a move toward the bag. That's a clear balk, an easy call to make, and no dispute in the runner to third. That's one that I actually saw. And I say that because oftentimes
you don't see it.
You don't see it.
It's very subtle, yeah.
2 balls and a strike. Runner at third, and the pitch. LaHare fouls it back to the screen, and the count is even at 2-2. For the casual viewer and even for the broadcaster, that's the hardest thing to spot oftentimes, is the balk call. 2-2 the count. And the pitch. Foul back. We saw a game end on a balk this year, and a game we had on our webcast that we do via Sports NOLA, and obviously you hate to see any game end that way. But an easy call is an easy call. When it's obvious, you've got to make it. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Another pitch. LaHare took it down. So full throw 2 now to LaHare. 3 balls and 2 strikes. LaHare good at bat per usual. On 3-2. Payoff pitch on the way. And a ground ball chopped very high towards second. Handling it, McLaughlin throws to first, gets LaHare, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits. A runner stranded for the Dolphins. They've left 7. Bottom of the 5th is coming. It's Delgado 7, Maple Woods nothing. And you are watching and listening to the National Junior College South Central District Championship at Kirsch-Rooney Stadium.
Richards remains in the game at third base for Maple Woods.
On to the sixth inning of Delgado. Along with Lenny Van Gilder, I'm Ken Trahan, and Jake Smith. He's done a pretty solid job since entering the game. He's kept his team in the game, and now Maplewood's chipping away a bit to pull back within 5 as a result, and we go to the sixth. And it will be Owen McGee, J.P. LaGreco, and Spencer Miller against Smith. Again, he's working in his second game of the day, so you wonder just how far he can go.
You know, it's you have to wonder about that, but at this time of year, you have to feel like, okay, I can give my team whatever it needs to. And I don't think he threw a lot of pitches in that first game. Maybe 20. Got the final out of the sixth, and then pitched the seventh inning.
Here's McGee, a single and an RBI, a run scored. He's 1 for 2. The pitch, strike called. It's 0-1.
This has been the part of the lineup in this game for Delgado that has certainly produced. 7 out of 9 times on base. 3, 4, and 5 in the lineup.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Down to McGee, and it is 1-1. Not throwing, but loosening in the Delgado bullpen as Hayden Adams. Now he'll pick up a ball and start to loosen. Here's the 1-1. And that misses high. It's 2-1. And you look at the game pitched by Heilman thus far. He's pitched a very good game, but he's at 96 pitches in just 5 innings. 2 balls and a strike to Owen McGee, who swings and corks a foul down the left field side. And the count is 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes on Owen McGee. Delgado program built with players from South Louisiana. Preponderance of them from the greater New Orleans area. 2-2 the count. Another pitch on the way to McGee. Chopper slowly towards short, getting his hop. Thompson guns and throws him out for out number 1. And that's Bumgarner, I should say, for the first out. Bumgarner had to wait on that, but he came in and had time to throw out McGee.
Got it on that big hop and made a strong throw across, and that's what you've got to do in that situation.
So Bumgarner to Chibas for the first out, and here's LaGreco, who has been the man. 3 for 3, including a double and 2 driven in. And the pitch from Jake Smith is a fast strike. It's 0-1. Smith starting to get into that comfort zone. He's not given up a hit since the 4th. We're in the 6th. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Rolled slowly towards short. Bumgarner has another chance, and he'll throw this hitter out as well. So LaGreco retired, 2 gone. And now Spencer Miller. Miller has singled and walked. He's 1 for 2. He's grounded out as well.
Catcher number 5, Spencer Miller.
The winner of this regional goes to the National Junior College World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado. I have not been there.
I've been once.
Pitch is outside for ball 1. I've been to Pueblo. Been a game there, actually. Been to Colorado Springs to do games. Been to, where else?
Denver, obviously.
Here's a chopper foul, third base side. It's 1-1. Been to Boulder. So I've been around that state a little bit.
You've been primarily on the eastern end of the state. This is on the western side of the state.
Okay.
You actually, most teams when they go there, they fly into Denver and make the bus trip through the Rockies, about 4.5 hours.
A ball and a strike. So you make a long trip to make a long trip.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're young, you don't even notice it.
But it's a beautiful bus ride through the Rockies.
The 1-1 pitch. Up and in, 2-1. Sights to see.
It's hard to believe you get up there around Memorial Day time and you're still seeing snow on the mountains.
Far cry from today, I'll tell you. The 2-1 pitch. And there's a fly ball hit pretty deep center field. Center fielder on his horse. Back toward the track. Getting there, falling down, and making the catch is McMahon. And the inning is over. A loud fly ball from Miller. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Jake Smith. We are on to the bottom of the 6th. It remains Delgado 7 and Maplewoods 2 from Kirsch-Rooney Stadium. It's the National Junior College South Central District Championship. On top of Maplewoods, Ken Trahan, Lenny Van Gilder with you. And Evan Heilman returns to the mound. He's got help behind him as Hayden Adams has been warming in the bullpen with a purpose for the Dolphins. And Heilman is at 96 pitches, so the leash is a little bit shorter here. And here in the bottom of the 6th, Will Gibas to lead it off. Jake Perry and Hayden Bumgarner to follow. Heilman has allowed just 4 hits. 2 runs, of course, against him. And he has walked 1, hit a batter, struck out 9. Facing Gibas. First pitch on the way. Foul back. Again, very aggressive. 0-1 the count. Gibas has had just 1 ball pitched to him in this game, as he is an aggressive hitter. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Down and away. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Fouled out of play right side. It's 1-2.
Activity as well in the bullpen down the right field side for Maplewoods. You have to wonder, as you mentioned, Ken, exactly how far Smith can go.
And a miss. Strikeout number 10 for Evan Heilman. Both pitchers could be on a short leash now. 1 gone. And Jake Perry will bat, who's grounded into a double play and struck out.
And as you can imagine, Ken, with a lot of these guys, you see the swings that they're taking. You know, they will strike out. This is interesting in their regional championship win over Crowder.
Here's a pop up a mile high. Hold that thought. Left field side, long one, everyone, and no play. It's 0-1.
Okay, 13-inning game. They won it in the bottom of the 13th. Came back, scored 3, 8-7. Here's the kicker. Yeah, they won the game. 8 runs on 18 hits. They struck out 24 times in 13 innings.
Is that all?
That's all.
Okay. Just checking. No balls and a strike. Pitch on the way. Missing outside, pops out of the glove, back toward the screen. It's 1-1. Incidentally, we'd like to congratulate the Xavier men's tennis team, which reached the national championship match in the NAIA. They lost today to Georgia Gwinnett, the number 1 team in the nation. 5-2, but a great season for the Xavier tennis team. That's the first athletic team in Xavier University history to make it to a national championship.
That's amazing with some of the great history that they've had there, certainly in basketball and some of, men's and women's basketball for that matter. For Xavier campus, about 5 minutes from where we are here in the Carrollton area of New Orleans.
Swing and a miss make it 11 punch-outs for Evan Heilman. You talk about dominant. He's on the 6th inning with 11 strikeouts. And here's Hayden Bumgarner, who struck out once and has walked.
And that is, Ken, a season high.
Which would stand to reason.
Yeah, had 10 earlier this year in a win over Muscatine. That was in Disney World at the annual trip that Delgado makes to play 6 games down in Orlando in the middle of March.
1-0 the count to Baumgartner. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. And college baseball in Louisiana looks very good right now for the NCAA tournament. We'll detail that here if the inning should continue. 1-1 the count on Baumgartner. Pitch on the way. Strike called. It's 1-2. It's a good news, bad news thing. Louisiana Tech may have played its way in, but Southeastern may be playing its way out.
Yep, exactly. I think Southeastern has, short of winning the tournament, I don't think they're getting in.
Right. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Make it 12 strikeouts for Heilman in 6 innings pitched. It's the 3rd time in the game he struck out 3 hitters in an inning. Nothing across. We head to the 7th, and it's still Delgado on top of Maplewoods. 7-2 at Kirsch-Rooney Stadium. And 7 left for the Dolphins. It's 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. 5 left for the Monarchs as we head to the 7th inning. Delgado with its 5-run lead. Jake Smith has been very good in relief to keep Maplewoods in this game. And he'll face Dylan Weston, Christian Clayton, and Brant Broussard in the 7th. And now the big question, Lenny, becomes, will Evan Heilman return to pitch another inning? Because he had a quick inning there, just 12 pitches in the 7th inning. And he's in the 6th inning, rather, which puts him at 108 for the game. So he's right on that cusp as we speak.
Yeah, I think he's going back out there for the 7th, especially as good as he was in the 6th. And look, he hasn't pitched in 2 weeks, and he's not going to pitch again until next week if Delgado is fortunate enough to get to the Junior College World Series.
So you're thinking 125, 130 max?
I'm thinking in the 120 range.
Ground ball is short, and 1 pitch, 1 out as Weston is retired to start the 7th. And Smith continues to roll, and he's getting a whole bunch of ground ball outs. He's now set down the last, 7 hitters he's faced, 6 of those on ground balls. Which indicates he's got good movement. He's keeping the ball down. And he's really settled this game down, hasn't he?
He has, and that's what you need to do. Just put the ball in play. Make him hit the ball on the ground. You keep it down.
Christian Clayton has singled, scored 1 for 3. Pitch on the way. Strike is called.
If your defense lets you down, that's one thing. But if you keep your location down as opposed to elevating pitches, then that makes a big difference.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that's down for ball 1, 1-1.
And the thing he's doing right now as well is eating up innings. At this point, you probably wouldn't see him again in this tournament. And he's saving the other pitchers.
There's a line drive into center, a base hit off of the bat of Clayton. A 1-out single for the Dolphins here in the 7th is their first hit since the 4th inning. The 12th hit of the game. Brant Broussard will bat.
And as we were talking about keeping it down, he elevated that pitch right there. Left it up, and Clayton just drove it right back where it came from in the center field.
And here's Brant Broussard. Was reached on an error. Still on a base, scored a run, walked. He's 0 for 2. Clayton leads, not going. Pitch a strike. It's 0-1. I say that because Delgado has swiped 4 bags already in this contest. Oh, 0-1 the count. Another pitch. and a pop-up into center field. Coming hard as McMahon gets there, puts it away. Second out recorded. Clayton back to first, and Ty Thompson will bat.
For the shortstop, number 10, Ty Thompson.
Thompson has singled, scored a run. He's 1 for 3. Swinging a foul. Right at the plate, it's 0-1 on Thompson. Smith working quickly and throwing strikes and giving his team a chance. Oh, 0-1 the count. Another from Smith. Hit him right in the back. That could not have felt good. Thompson will trot to first. As soon as you talk about his good command, he plunked somebody. It's my fault. Right in the small of the back.
Ooh. That hurts, but the good news is you flip the lineup over here with 2 on and 2 out.
Robbie Podorsky at the plate with 2 hits, 2 RBI. Pitch on the way. Podorsky took it down and out for ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Another pitch on the way. That's a wild pitch. And the run advanced to second and third. That looked like it hit off the plate. Took a wild hop. And both runners advance. And that's 3 wild pitches for Smith in the game. And now a 2-0 count for Podorsky. And a base hit could get the Dolphins 2. And get the 2 back that they gave up in the 5th. 2-0 the count. Another pitch. Swing and a miss. Went fishing, and it's 2-1. Took the bait, as it were.
He went fishing.
Didn't taste good. 2-1 the count. He was hooked. Where do you want me to stop?
Let me reel you in here.
Thank
see
you.
If I can
Appreciate that. On 2-1, here it is. Hard hit ball to second. Funny hop, and a second baseman can't handle it. And 2 runs are going to score, and Delgado gets those 2 back, and it's 9-2. That one has to go as an error, which will be the second of the game on the second baseman, McLaughlin. Again, ball was hit pretty hard, but he's got to at least knock that ball down.
Right, got to get in front of it. He played it to the side. It skipped on him, and it went on out in the right field. And now it's a 7-run lead, and I'll bring this up again. Remember the run rule here. It's a 10-run rule after 5. It's an 8-run rule after 7.
Right.
So if you could find a way to get this runner around, now you've got an 8-run lead.
Well, Podorsky's likely to run. I mean, he's stolen twice already in this game. Lahair bats. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI. Not going Podorsky. Fly ball left field, Lahair. Toward the gap, left fielder there. Making the catch over the shoulder is Risch, and the inning is over. Delgado gets 2. They do so on 1 hit, 1 error. They strand 1. In the game, they left 8. Bottom of the 7th coming. Take a stretch from Kirsch-Rooney. It's 9-2, Delgado over Maple Woods. 9-2. Delgado over Maple Woods. And the Monarchs here in the bottom of the 7th will have Andrew Curry at the plate, to be followed by Conrad McMahon. And then Clayton Rich.
Chip Benura has taken over at first base for Delgado, who will bat in the 6th slot.
First pitch from Heilman is a strike call, his 109th pitch of the game, so he is back out there to start the 7th. Working at Curry, who had that double down the third base line in the 5th and started a 2-run rally, scored a run. Took this one away, it's 1-1. This could very well be Heilman's last inning of work based on his pitch count. 1-1 the count. The pitch. Fouled it off the catcher. It's 1-2. Hayden Adams had been up throwing with a purpose previously, so you know he'd be able to get loose pretty quickly if called upon once again. 1-2 the count on Curry. Settles back in left side. Steps out again. Thinks about it. He's just trying to slow Heilman down. Heilman just waiting to pitch there. Curry noticed that, so he just stepped out for a second time. Now he's back in. And here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, so that's 13. Lucky number 13 for Evan Heilman. One gone.
And 6 in a row here. He has struck out the 3 through 8 hitters in the lineup going back to the 5th inning.
Some stretch.
Was in a little trouble there in the 5th, as you recall. Got 2 strikeouts to get out of the 5th. Struck out the side in the 6th, and now opens the 7th with yet another one.
Conrad McMahon, an RBI double in the 5th. He's 1 for 2. He hits it on up the middle, a short base hit. Thompson couldn't quite get there, and it's a 1-out single for McMahon here in the 7th. And it's hit number 5 for the Monarchs. Off of Heilman, and now flip the order to Clayton Rich, who is 0 for 3 with the stolen base and a run scored. Stretch pitch. Foul back. Healthy hack. 0-1. It's fun to enunciate. Rish. Yeah, I just knew that one of you was going to suggest that. And in the old days, again, there it is again. Yes, that was very common, Bob. Right on it. 0-1. Down and out, a ball, 1-1. In particular, when I made so many trips to St. Louis to that certain stadium with that name. In its different designs, because there have been 3 of those. Here's a pop foul back and out of play. A little known fact to those of modern day baseball, there have been 3 renditions of Busch Stadium. One was Sportsman's Park. Of course, Busch Stadium 2 was Busch Stadium, and Busch Stadium 3 is, well, Busch Stadium. 1-2 pitch missing outside. It's 2-2. So what am I trying to say? I have no idea, except for the fact that I did the first New Orleans Zephyrs game ever played at a place called Busch Stadium.
Hold the C.
But that happened to be in Indianapolis. Yep, foul back to the screen. Holding it 2-2, and I had my late great friend, old brother, doing that one with me.
Bronco Bruce.
Bronco Bruce, man. 2-2 the count. Runner goes, pitches a swing and a miss. Another strikeout throw is there. He is out at second base. Strike him out, throw him out. What a job by Spencer Miller on the throw. What a job by Evan Heilman on the mound as he continues to mow down hitters. 13 strikeouts, make it what, 14, pardon me, in the game now. And in the inning, a base hit and nobody left. We played 9-2 Delgado over Maple Woods. The National Junior College South Central District Championship continues in a moment here at Kirsch-Rooney Stadium. And now 119 pitches. So it's a tease again as to whether he comes out for the 8th. I think he will at this stage.
I think he will as well. And seeing a quiet bullpen certainly would help you suggest that. And look, again, now we talk about the run rule situation. If Delgado can scratch across a run, you've got a chance to shut it down at the bottom of the 8th and not have to play tonight.
Owen McGee tries one to deep left. It could be over. It is gone. Owen McGee goes yard for the Dolphins. And wow, this thing could be over in a half inning because he's just given them an 8-run lead with a home run here to start the 8th inning. Owen McGee with his 5th of the year. Delgado's up 10-2.
McGee just got one that was elevated and drove it. It was a lot like the one he hit earlier, not too far off the line. Just pulled it right down the line. This one, I think, went over the Retief oil sign. And just like that, this is an 8-run ball game.
First pitch missing inside to LaGreco, who's had 3 hits, 3 for 4, 2 RBI, including a double. High, it's 2-0. And the 2-0 pitch, and that nicked him. So he trots to first. With nobody out, and Spencer Miller will bat as LaGreco is hit by a pitch. Spencer Miller has singled and walked in 3 trips officially. And has an opportunity here. And that's going to be it for Jake Smith, who really saved the bullpen, didn't he?
He did. He got it from the 2nd inning to the 8th, and definitely, has you set up as best as you can be for the final 1 or 2 games of this tournament.
So a good job by Jake Smith to keep his team in this game, and we'll tell you about the reliever when we return in just a moment. Top of the 8th inning, 10-2 Delgado over Maple Woods. Here from Kirsch-Rooney Stadium. Back in just a moment. The right-hander Tyler Burrow. So Burrow taking over for Smith becomes their 3rd pitcher of the game. And Burrow taking over here in the 8th inning. He's made 11 appearances, all out of the bullpen. He's 0-2 with an 11.81 earned run average. 16 innings pitched. He's allowed 24 hits, 23 runs, 21 of which have been earned. He's walked 7, struck out 15. He's given 4 home runs. There's a couple of wild pitches. He's hit 3 batters. And they bat .353 against him, so he's had his struggles on the season. Takes over here for Smith. With a runner at first and nobody out here in the top of the 8th, and an 8-run lead for Delgado as Spencer Miller bats. And swings and misses. Burrow getting ahead. Burrow 6'1", 180 pounds. 0-1. Strike called. It's 0-2. He's got a little bit of a different motion.
Yes.
Might take a little bit to pick it up if you're the hitter.
And that's what you want to try to do when you go to your bullpen, is try to change things up from the guy you had in there before.
Swing and a miss, and he had Miller fooled badly. 1 out. So struck him out. A little herky-jerky.
Pretty decent-looking curveball there. You knew he had to have something with basically averaging a strikeout an inning. He had to have some kind of pitch that was going to be able to make hitters miss.
Right, that's the only impressive number he has in his resume. Here's Weston, and that is high for ball one. Weston has doubled, scored 1 for 4.
Kim, while we have a moment, let's set the schedule for what's to come, as this is the third and final game of the day. We have more baseball tomorrow. These same two teams. It will be a 3 o'clock Central Time start.
Down and out, 2-0.
Have it here at sportsnola.com as well as Dolphin Radio 98.9. All the places you were able to watch and listen today. You'll be able to do it again tomorrow. Again, 3 o'clock first pitch.
Swing and a miss, 2-1.
And if this stands up here, Delgado with a 10-2 lead. It will be Delgado 1 win away from a district championship and a return trip to the Junior College World Series. But if Maplewoods were to win that game tomorrow, then we would have a winner-take-all game on Monday at 1 o'clock.
Here's a drive to left field. Left fielder Cumming is there, making the catch. Risch to take care of Weston for out number 2. And now Christian Clayton will bat. Clayton has singled twice, scored twice, 2 for 4. You're looking ahead to the bottom of the 8th. 2, 3, and 4 for the Monarchs, trying to keep the game alive. McLaughlin, Simpson, and Cox. What will the score be? It's currently 10-2 Delgado. Clayton would like to try to add to that. The pitch, and he pops it up. Should end the inning. The center fielder McMahon coming on is under it. He's got it, and the inning is over. Good job by Burrow to get 3 straight outs out of the bullpen. 1 run on the home run by McGee. A runner stranded for the Dolphins, who have left 9. Bottom of the 8th coming. Last chance for Maplewoods, trailing Delgado 10-2 here at Kirsch-Rooney Stadium.
won the regular season. Marshall had a great year.
Yes, they did. Southern Miss is good, obviously.
And Rice and Louisiana Tech, who just got finished playing,
right,
a 3-game series, are going to play again Wednesday in the first round.
Thank you very much. The pitch misses. It's 2 balls and a strike to Perry, and another on the way, and ball 3, so 3-1.
And that is very possibly a 4-bid league, and you probably didn't see coming when the year started. Obviously, Rice is perennially good. Florida Atlantic's been good for a long time. Southern Miss has gotten good again.
3-1. Ground ball to second should end it. Gobbled up. Broussard throws to first, and the Delgado Dolphins have defeated Maplewoods by the score of 10-2 here this evening. Run ruling them here. An 8-run lead after 8 innings ends it as Delgado wins it by the score of 10-2. We'll be back to give you some totals and highlights and to give you a wrap in just a moment. You're listening to the Junior College South Central District Championship and watching it as well from Kirsch-Rooney Stadium.
Ladies and gentlemen, join us tomorrow for Game 4 of the South Central District Championship. It's set for a 3 p.m. start here in Kirsch-Rooney. Once again, Game 4, as we enter the championship round, begins tomorrow at 3 p.m. here at Kirsch-Rooney Stadium.
So a victory here for the Delgado Dolphins, 10-2 over Maplewood. Here are the totals of the ball game for Delgado. It's 10 runs, 13 hits, 3 errors, and the Dolphins stranded 9 men on base. And for Maplewoods, 2 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors, and the Monarchs leaving a total of 7 on base. And the winning pitcher is Evan Heilman. He moves to 6-2 with a splendid performance. 7 innings, 5 hits, walked 2, struck out 14, giving up the 2 runs. And the losing pitcher Tyler Funk drops to 5-3. The game took 2 hours and 27 minutes to play, and Delgado emerges victorious, 10-2 over Maplewoods, and thus the Dolphins are in the driver's seat, as it were. They need to win 1 more game. Maplewoods would have to win 2 in a row to win this regional. And the next game, of course, at 3 p.m. on Sunday, and if needed, game on Monday at 1 p.m. Lenny, some final thoughts?
Well, this was a very impressive performance, particularly by Evan Heilman. And based on what we saw from looking at a stat sheet and looking at this Maplewoods team playing game 1 to see how they swung the bats, and he went out and just shut this team down. The 2 runs and 5 hits, but the strikeout 14 in 7 innings. That was a dominant performance, exactly what Joe Sherman's club needed. They went out and put the big number up early and then made it stand up as a result, and even got out of here inning early as a result of that offense.
Well, it's always good, as you mentioned. Any inning you save for your pitching staff is going to be beneficial down the road. That applies to both teams. Delgado used 2 pitchers, and Maplewoods used 3, and in the case of Jake Smith, twice in 1 day, so he figures to be done.
Yeah, he figures to be done. Now, certainly the starter only threw he only threw an inning and 2/3. Funk, perhaps you use him back at some point over the course of this weekend if you need him. But certainly you would imagine at this point that Delgado's 2 starting pitchers will not be back this weekend. But still, you're still in very good shape. The fact that you really only had to use 2 pitchers, obviously, the little bit of action that Adams saw, he's certainly available to throw Sunday or Monday as well.
And of course, you flip the script tomorrow. Delgado will be the home team in game 2.
We think so. We're waiting on a coin flip to find out on exactly what, because it's everything in junior college baseball is decided by a coin flip, basically. So we'll find out exactly what's happening there. But again, it's I think you need to look to follow the same script tomorrow. If you're Delgado, you want to go out and put those early runs on the board and put pressure on a team that has to beat you twice.
Definitely. So a 3 p.m. start time tomorrow on the air at about 2:55 or so.
Yes, exactly. So we'll look forward to doing it again, Ken.
Let's do it again. Let's have some fun tomorrow. We look forward to that tomorrow here as Delgado will host Maplewoods at 3 p.m. with a chance to go to the Junior College World Series. Once again, Delgado sweeps 2 games today as they win the first game over Eastern Oklahoma State 10-6, and then they defeat Maplewoods by the score of 10-2. Dolphins a game away from the College World Series. We'll be back at you tomorrow at about 2:55. And we hope you will join us then to listen in and watch as well. And our thanks again to Bob Dunn. And our thanks to Adam Bryant. And our thanks to Nat Collins as well. Once again, Delgado a winner, 10-2. Now this is Ken Trahan for Lenny Van Gilder. Thanks for joining us and be a good sport. God bless you one and all. Rounding third and heading home. So long.